Hey gamers, welcome back to the channel. Today in DC Dark Legion, we're going to take a look at Constantine. He is out and I've got him started up a bit. We're going to ask the question, is he worth it? That question is always a little bit of a relative term because sometimes it doesn't matter if it's a good character or not. Some people really want a certain character because they love the character. And if you want them, go get them. If you want to talk about optimal teams and stuff, again, hopefully by the end of this video, after we go through all the information we have to share based on testing I did yesterday on stream, this will give you enough information to tell you, to help you make the decision whether Constantine is worth it for you or not. So let's get into it. All right, and welcome back. Let's go ahead and jump into this. Constantine, one of my favorite characters in the DC universe. My favorite, obviously, being Green Lantern as a whole. I love the storyline. Constantine is great. I like the JLD storyline and everything as well. I just love this guy. He is very, very cool. So the question is he worth it? And like I was mentioning as I was introducing the video, it's really just a relative term based on what are you looking for in a team? Do you want to build characters that you truly love? Go for it. Run with it, have fun with it, enjoy the game. That's what it's all about. It's just about having fun. If you want to build optimal teams, I'm hoping to give you enough information during this video that you can decide for yourself whether this is a character that you want to go for or not. Off the bat, he's a good character. Let's talk about where I have him right now. So currently I've got him at level 460. That's where my level sync has. In the best possible way. Let's go ahead and take a look at his legacy piece. So I gave him Dart with Poison Ivy. Dart with Poison Ivy. Poison. That's a mouthful, isn't it? So that gives attack, flat, and percent. That is obviously going to help him do more damage. You also have energy gain, which is going to allow him to attack more. We also have increases spiritual penetration. That does more spiritual damage. Since his damage is spiritual damage, the penetration is going to allow you to do more damage there. Also a 50% chance to inflict Ivy's Kiss. What that does, that increases the amount of damage that your enemy is going to receive. He is an AoE character. We'll go ahead and take a look at that in a minute. I do have him, at least currently, what I can produce now for gear, I have him in max level gear. All right, so let's take a look at his kit here. So as you can see, I got him at 3 blue stars, hoping to get him to 5 blue, if not into the purples, by the time his banner is done. So his first, right here, his ultimate conjures a firestorm that deals spiritual damage, a certain percentage of his attack to his enemies. If Black Magic Surge is active, the next 2 ultimate casts deal spiritual damage equal to a certain percentage of Constantine's attack. Black Spiritual Surge is right here. After Constantine casts his ultimate, the area and range of his next Exorcism Blast and the damage of his next Summoned Flame increase. There's a lot to this, right? Stacking up to 2 times at the start of battle. Each Justice League Dark ally increases Constantine's attack by 5%. So at the start of battle, Constantine's physical defense is increased by 24%. You can get that increase there as well. So if this is active during this, you're going to do some additional damage. All right, Exorcism Blast. Constantine unleashes a blast of flame. It's going to do a certain percentage of spiritual damage based on his attack. And then this one here, Power Curse. After he casts Summon Flame, so that is what? That's his ultimate right here. Or Exorcism Blast, which is this right here. There's a fixed 30% chance to inflict burn on the target for 5 seconds. Burn obviously does a certain percent of damage over a period of time based on the attack. There is a lot going on in his kit, and his skills synergize very well with each other. He can do a massive amount of damage. I think the more invested you are in Constantine, he's probably going to get better and better. Typically, obviously, as you continue to invest in a character, they do get better. But I think he may go up a few ranks on the tier list as you get him into maybe the red stars. Right now, my review is going to be based on the 3 red stars. Also, some comparisons I did from a 5 white star Constantine to a 3 blue star Constantine. So a lot of AoE damage, a lot of physical, not physical, but a lot of spiritual damage. So the thing with him, and as we go, well, actually, let's go do a couple tests. We're going to go run a couple tests here in Combat Cycle. We're going to fast forward them so you don't have to sit through all of them, because through the magic of editing, we're going to go ahead and skip. But here, check this out. We're just going to do a straight up with Devastator here, I'm gonna put in a full JLD team. So actually, here's my main team. When it comes to this boss right here, let's throw Ivy in there with him, and then it's typically Harley, and then I have these two in there. So this is my main team usually. We know that Sinestro and Joker do a ton of damage. So let's start out with Sinestro. I'm going to throw Constantine in there. We do have a buff with the Energy Wielder, which increases his HP by 10%. So let's go ahead. We're going to start this off. And then I'm going to fast forward this so you can see the amount of damage that Constantine does versus Sinestro at the 3 blue stars. Sinestro is at... I think Sinestro's at 3 blue stars as well, right? So we'll check that here in just a second. So let's fast forward. All right, so there we go. We finished the battle at a little over 10 million damage. When we take a look at damage here, look at 4.4 million damage versus 4.1 million damage. When I had him at 5 white stars, he was running around the mid 3 millions. If you watch my stream from yesterday, you'll see what I'm talking about there. But they're both at 3 blue stars. So not bad, so pretty comparable, right? So let's go ahead. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go in. Same team, and I'm gonna put Joker in there. I want to show these 3 specifically because these 3 characters are doing all spiritual damage. So let's go ahead. Let's start this one up. And similarly, I'll fast forward this. We'll look at that, and then I've got some very cool things to show you with another character that's really going to beef up Constantine's damage. All right, with that ended, again, at 10 million damage, let's take a look at this. 4.1 million versus 3.9. Getting a little different results right now versus what we did yesterday. But we do have him now at 3 blues versus the 5 white stars that we had yesterday. So still holding his own pretty good. Let's go ahead now. Check this out. We're going to go into here. Same team because we want the same synergies, which is actually really nothing right now. We want everything to be the same. We're only changing one character. So I'm going to take him out. We're going to throw Zatanna in there. This is going to give, we got the Energy Wielder buff, but we're also going to get the spiritual damage buff that Zatanna gives to Constantine. So let's go ahead and run through this battle. All right. So again, we hit around the 10 million damage mark. We go and take a look at his damage. Buffed up over 2 million damage for Constantine. So he really benefits from the buff that he gets from Zatanna. As you add additional Justice League Dark characters, it does increase the amount of spiritual damage as well. So he's going to get a buff there also. We got him up pretty high yesterday on the stream. So let's go back now. When we take a look at characters, Brown being more plug and play versus restrictive to a team, I think Constantine requires more support in order to get his damage really buffed up. I think when you compare him to like Sinestro and Joker, they're a little more plug and play, although we did get a little bit more damage out of them when we were playing around with them and Zatanna as well, because again, she buffs spiritual damage, so that's always good. So let's go ahead and talk about the team here really quick. Justice League Dark as a whole. So Constantine, I originally, when I first was thinking about where to slot him, just basically based on what I know so far, I put him at an A+ on my tier list. I think he's a solid A+ right now. As you add other characters, he definitely gets much better. So Constantine and Zatanna definitely critical for this team. When you bring in Fate, he definitely gives the shields. He gives a little bit more sustainability to the team. Raven needs a little help though, because when I was putting in a full Justice League Dark team and had Raven in there, and then I'd swap out the healers for Mara or for Ivy, those healers were doing much better than Raven. So I think Raven, we need some more investment in her. So probably a little bit more testing there, but she's not up to where she needs to be in order to keep the team going as far as heals. And we've kind of always thought about that. If you take a look at the tier list, she's always been lower on the tier list, mainly because of her heals, and also when she does her swap and stuff, she typically dies a lot. So she's a little bit lower there. So it's okay if you can get 4 Justice League Dark characters in there and then put your best healer in there. You're still going to get the benefits. And then Wonder Woman continues to impress. The more we build her up, the more she does, the better she does in the combat cycles. I typically don't bring tanks into combat cycles, but seeing how we're having a hard time keeping the whole team up, I brought Wonder Woman in there, and she was able to keep with her staying up front and with her shielding allies and things like that. She was able to keep the team up. So that was definitely helpful. So Constantine, is he worth it? If you want a Justice League Dark team, definitely. I still think he's worth it, just based on him alone and the amount of damage he does. You just want to make sure to have Zatanna or somebody else there that's going to help increase his damage buff. We did also pair him up with Two-Face. Two-Face also, what he does is he has a spiritual damage debuff, so that he lands that on an enemy, and that enemy takes more damage from spiritual damage dealers. So that did help. Not as much as Zatanna, but that's still an option as well when you think about teams. I think overall, Constantine's great. Gonna get better, I think, with the more investment in stars and ranking and everything. What I do have him at, too, also just kind of a heads up there, I didn't go over this, but Force, I've got him at almost max Force as far as how far I can take Force right now. So I'm going to continue with this. I think initially he's great, and I definitely would suggest going for him. He's a lot of fun, and you get Zatanna in there. Make sure to go for Zatanna. You have Zatanna banner, and then right after Zatanna, you have Constantine, so I think they're both good banners to go after. That's what I had for you. Very curious on your thoughts. What do you think about this? What do you think about the stream yesterday? So definitely go check it out. If you haven't, we did a lot of testing there. We moved people around quite a bit. So let me know what your thoughts are. Let me know what you think about Constantine and the Justice League Dark team. Do you like him? Do you not? Put them in the comment section. All right, everybody, as always, I want to thank you all for taking the time to watch the video. If you liked it, make sure to hit that like button and share your thoughts and questions in the comment section below. Take care, everybody, and we'll talk to you next time.